All right, what I want to do here is I want to just go over a couple quick things that I noticed that we were getting wrong here on our Nearpod. Okay, so we're going to go over a couple quick things that I have, and then I'm going to see what questions you all have. And if we have 0 questions, I'll release your quiz. We'll talk about it. And if you have questions once I release the quiz, obviously this entire class period is yours to ask questions. Okay, but I want to highlight a couple things here. All right, so these over here, those Roman numerals, okay? So this is obviously 1, 2, 3, and then 4. All right, and this stands for the different generations. All right, so these top guys are considered generation 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? We said if this was you, and I know you're not males, but if this was you, this would be your parents, this would be your grandparents, okay? And then this would be your great-grandparents, okay? Usually though, when we're talking about this in high school classes, you typically don't see 4 generations. We'll usually stop it at 3, okay? But that's what that's showing. Okay, again, this horizontal line is indicating marriages. All right, indicates, apologies, not that one. All right, indicates marriage. All right, when there's a line from that marriage, that vertical line, those indicate offspring, right? They had children. Okay, you could have, let's say this female got married here to a male. They can be married and not have any children, right? So again, that vertical line, and I can write it here, vertical line means offspring, and the horizontal line means marriage. All right, okay? Again, square is male, circle is female. If it's shaded in, so if it is shaded in, it means they have the disorder or the trait, so we call them affected. If it is open or not shaded, they are not affected. All right? That's pretty much the basics of what you need to know here. The only other thing I want to highlight is that if we look at, and I'll erase some of these lines so it's easier for you. Okay? If we look at our great-grandparents, okay, they had 1, 2, 3 children, okay? They had 3 children in that order. This one here is the first child. So this would be the eldest child. This would be our middle child, and this would be the youngest child, okay? So it does matter. Again, just like reading, we go from left to right, okay? Just like reading, we go from left to right, all right? So that is the basics here of our pedigree charts, all right? And if I scroll down here, I'm gonna remind us our ways to figure out with pedigrees, right? First, we said we fill in what we know. Okay, so I would tell you it's either a recessive or a dominant trait or disorder, whatever we're tracking. Then we're going to fill in what we know. Okay, we then use Punnett squares, right? We figure out Punnett squares to, I'll say, determine our probabilities. So what are the chances that these kids can have these traits if we give them these genotypes? All right, if they match, you're right. If they don't match, we have to adjust the parent genotypes. All right, okay? So those are pretty much our 2 rules. We fill in what we know. We use Punnett squares to determine our probabilities. And if those probabilities match, that means that we're probably right. If they don't match, right, if there's an option of a child that doesn't show up in the Punnett square, right, then it doesn't match. So for example, if our Punnett square here if we have two homozygous dominant parents, okay, if this is what our Punnett square looks like, but the child, based on what we know, has a lowercase t, that obviously is not true. So we would have to go back here and adjust, right? We would go, okay, let's put a t there. Well, that's still not enough. Okay, let's go back and edit it some more. So we would go capital T, maybe a lowercase t here. Okay. We would edit it, so capital T, lowercase, lowercase, lowercase. Wow, there is a chance for that child, okay? And as long as the parents both don't have the trait, so the mom looks like that and the dad looks like that, we're good to go, okay? So that is what I wanted to cover in terms of some helpful reminders here.